Now, I'm sure that a lot of die-hard Twi fans would say to me, they say, Steve, you're missing something. What about all the good things that are in Twilight? Good, like this flower. What about the fact that Edward is a vegetarian, that he's a good vampire, that he resists temptation, and that he doesn't have sex until after marriage? Isn't that a good thing? Well, I agree that yes, those are good things. My wife and I waited till after marriage, and there are good things within Twilight. But let's go back to the imagery of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It is the nature of evil to connect itself with things that are good in order to be more readily received by the human heart. Yes, there are good things within these books and in the movies, but there are also evil things as well. And when people watch the movies and read the books, both just slip right in without people really understanding what's going on. It's a lot like fishing. Trout fishermen know that you take a good worm and you stick it on a hook and you throw it into a stream or a fishing hole, and you wait. And then the fish comes along unsuspecting, and he sees that good worm dangling down under the water. And that's all he sees. And then he comes along and he takes a bite thinking he's just got a good lunch, and before he knows it, he's in the frying pan. In Twilight, Edward Cullen is the Romeo and Isabella Swan is Juliet. And over again, especially with Juliet, these books take you into her head to see what she's thinking. On page 340 of the book New Moon, which is the second book in the Twilight series, Bella is reflecting upon her lover's dark past. And this is what she says, quote, or what she thinks. Even in his darker past, he'd never been a murderer of innocence. But what if he had been, she asks herself. Would that have kept me away from him? I shook my head sadly. Love is irrational, I reminded myself. The more you loved someone, the less sense anything made. In other words, when you really love someone, conscience and reason just goes out the window. And even if he had been a serial killer, so what? She's going forward. Is that a good message for kids? Now here's one more from page 528 of the same book, New Moon. She's thinking about the cost to her life and to her eternity in this relationship. And this is what she says, or what she's thinking. Compared to the fear that he didn't want me, that Edward didn't want me, this hurdle, my soul, seemed almost insignificant. In other words, when you love someone, and even if it's a forbidden relationship, don't worry about your soul, don't worry about your eternity, because it's all worth sacrificing for, to be in the midst of this forbidden relationship. Every day of our lives we are making choices, and this applies to our entertainment, what we choose to watch and listen to. Choices are like ripple effects that ripple out to the rest of our lives. My wife and I have two little children. Little Seth is 5 years old and little Abigail is almost 2. And we love our kids so much. And we are very, very conscious of the importance of making good choices in what they watch and what they listen to. We try the best we can. We're not perfect, but we do as best as possible to choose things that are not good mixed with